Hey everybody, what is up? It is your boy Dixie Outlaw back again for another video. Now, today's video, I'm actually very excited about this because if you guys don't love me proving people wrong, then you might want to click off this video, like right now. But, if you do want to take and see what this video is about, then stay here because it's about to get interesting, y'all. One thing I hate is stupid people. Now, I know some of y'all are probably wondering, ooh, where's this video going? Oh, this video is going down a beautiful road of me proving people wrong and that they're just straight up idiots. This thing does 22 pounds of torque, according to the box. Not the greatest in the world, but not the worst. Okay. The one dude on YouTube, pretty much in my opinion, he like dogging this because he was comparing it to Milwaukee. Okay, 85 bucks for this. This also cost me about 85 bucks. Right there. Hold on, y'all, math. I am at 170 for two items. Okay. Now, this dude wanted to take a say about, oh, $200 something gets you all these things, and and blah, 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 and so on and so forth, and who, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a damn, dude. You're saying trying to sell Milwaukee when you're doing a review on a cheap tool. Now, I can take and bet you and guarantee my bottom dollar, this thing is able to do some things that I know more expensive brands struggle with. So, in today's video, I'm going to go through a little bit of test with it and see what the heck it can and cannot do. I also got to find my regular ratchet somewhere around here because I was working on a vehicle last night, did not actually clean up after myself like I normally do, and now I can't find nothing. So I know my favorite ratchet has to be right here somewhere, so hold on 2 seconds. Okay, y'all, I am back. I found it. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this into the category is because I wanted to kind of take and show exactly how useful this tool can be because I already did test it out on one bolt a few times, about 3 times. And honestly, again, I really like it. I dig the fact that it does exactly what it's meant to do. And on top of that, it does it quite efficiently. There is little tidbits that I don't really like about it, and I am going to cover that in today's video. And normally, I would try to save a update video for way later on when I actually had time to use this thing, but just what it did do amazed me and made me really happy. Now, with that also being said, I will take and straight up admit this is a lawnmower engine I'm testing this on, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe somehow the lawnmower bolts don't get as tight. Anyways, I'm going to aim y'all over here. This is the subject in mind. Now, this is the piston cover, or the head cover, whatever you guys want to call it. This is what we're going to use in today's video. And even though you're not supposed to, because it can destroy the spark plug. I got extra spark plugs for 1 and for 2. I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, wrong way. Oh, spark plug. By the way, I did tighten that spark plug down, so it was not just sitting there loose. Now, here's the only issue I have with this thing is it does jerk a lot when you first start because it just doesn't have the oomph. Look at that. Barely even loosened it. Watch. I'll take you show y'all again. tighten it down a little bit. And then just ever so slightly. There's the bolt. And that was quick. Compared to a ratchet, that was quick. Now, this is a 13. Let me get a socket on my Torque to Infinity ratchet. And let's torque this puppy down and see, which I'm trying not to torque this down too much because I can't warp this head because I do believe it's aluminum. But there we go. Got a Torque to Infinity. Now, back to this guy. Now, obviously, it's not going to go nowhere just yet because it's still tight. But just literally not in a full turn. And it's coming off. That's what I'm talking about. And for a comparison, because I know there's going to be a lot of people that get pissed off and take and say that this thing's junk still. Oh yeah, complete junk. Let me tell you. That is pretty much what that is. I'm going to put the spark plug back in here just so it's in its home. Oh. Now I'm going to place the camera back at me and finish this discussion. Now, kind of the whole point of that video, well, that test is, because the dude that was doing this review of this masterpiece was trying to say how dog awful it was pretty much, in not so many words. And how this thing cannot hold up to what it needs to. And he also said when you went to use it as a ratchet, it flexed a lot and made noises or whatever. He said exactly. I didn't have no dang issues. I mean, yeah, the head looks like it moves a little bit, but I know some expensive ones that do the same thing. But pretty much, as you've seen there, this thing is a beast. I would not be afraid whatsoever to do anything I need to do with this. Just simply because, obviously, as you just seen, it can handle the job at hand and handle it well. And just, I kind of have to throw this in there because I know there's a lot of people that's going to say this is trash because it didn't cost an arm and a leg and so on and so forth. But believe it or not, these two things, I don't know if I'm going to use ratchets anymore. I know I'm going to, but I don't know if I'm going to really need a ratchet as much as I used to. Mainly because these two things right here will definitely zip zap almost any bolt or nut I need to get off of anything. Honestly, I say this thing probably would have been able to handle taking the motors off of the lawnmower if I would have been using this, because I would have been able to take them to that first torque and then slammed it. And also, I will take and say, this does 100 pounds of torque. And again, I know it's probably under no load or whatever, however they test it, I don't care. I'm just taking and saying what it says on the box. This is 22 pounds. I don't know if I believe it's 22 pounds. Here's the reason. This took the bolt off fairly well. This took it off with just a little bit of a, and then it was taken off. I think this might be a little bit more than 22. I have no way of testing that, not in this garage whatsoever. Eventually I might, years down the road, but by then I'll probably have Craftsman. do know, however, it's going to be a while before I get the 4 amps for these. But I can guarantee you when I do get the 4 amps, it is going to be amazing. Now, also, the dude did take and say how his battery had issues coming in and out. I'm having no issues. I think his issue was because he had it set up on some sort of rig like this, and then he was back here trying to fight with the back. Oh. Okay, he has no excuse. Maybe he just got a bad batch. Or maybe he took and got the battery way too hot. Possibilities are endless. Now, I did notice I have a little bit of issue sometimes getting it in here. But I think that's just because I'm not used to this tool yet. But I will take and tell you that the other nice thing is you can take the battery out of one, take the battery out of the other, and be able to use them in each other. Now, I know some of y'all might think that's stupid, but if I'm in a tight spot, for some reason this battery dies on me, it's nice to know that if this battery's charged, I can just take it out of this tool and throw it in some other tool. And as you can see from all the dirt and grime on this, I have not gone gentle on this. This is actually what I used to bolt the one light bar onto the front of the truck. And I actually used, hold on y'all, this bit as well with it to tighten down the light bar. So, honestly, with that being said, it can obviously handle whatever job I throw at it with no issue. Which I would never advise torquing down a L wrench, or a hex screw, whatever you want to call it, with this guy. But I didn't have this guy to use for it, for one, and for two, I would have been there all day with an L wrench tighten those down. And if you do it right, you should be fine. Now, here's the only issue I have with this tool, and you've probably seen it while I was demonstrating it. This stops on a dime when you stop squeezing the trigger. This does not. You can probably see it better when you actually look at the back. It does not stop on a dime. Which the only reason why that becomes into an issue is when you actually get it tight and then it wants to keep going a little bit. It does jerk your wrist a little, but honestly, it's such a small thing that it doesn't bother me none in the slightest. I definitely think this tool is going to make one hell of an addition to my shop. And the more I use this, I will be doing updates and stuff on it. Oh, this is the other thing he complained about, the head being a little bit loose. Okay, it's not in the head. The head of mine is actually not loose. It was the socket that was a little loose on it. No idea why. Probably the socket I'm using ain't a tight fit because it is a cheaper socket. But it has a little bit of play on this one as well. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. But I am going to be very excited to use this thing more and just see what it can actually really take and do. And I'm prying on it, y'all, to take and tighten down this bolt a little bit. It does have a little bit of flex, but not enough flex to really concern me. I mean, if this thing does break, y'all will be the first to know. And also, I just noticed something too. It does, when you go to use it on the actual bolt, this guy does slide over. and you go to actually pry down on it. Okay, now it's not going to do it. I literally just had it where it did. Oh, there it goes. It slid over. But that, honestly, is still such a insignificant little thing. Because it still does what I need it to do. And also, if I'm worried about the head slop, I can just put my hand right here and use that as just kind of my leverage. But honestly, I think it's well worth the 85 bucks, especially because that's cheaper than any other. Even Craftsman one, I think it's like 100 bucks, or at least 80 something bucks. I think it was like $79.99. But the problem with the Craftsman one is it doesn't come with a battery. This came with a battery and a charger. But you gotta factor that into the whole equation. Because if you don't factor in the battery to the equation, you're going to be spending way more. And that's the other issue I have with a lot of Milwaukee tools too, is unless you buy them in sets, half the time they don't come with batteries either. And their batteries are like $100 and something per battery or something stupid like that. I should know, I've looked into buying a charger alone when I had a Milwaukee, and it was not cheap. So, with that being said, though, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notified of all my future uploads. This has been your boy, Dixie Outlaw, and I am signing off, y'all.